All right, it is election day, turning into election night. Less than 30 minutes to get out and cast your ballot if you have not yet. And there are a lot of people who have not yet. And that's one of the things I want to talk about with political columnist for the San Antonio Express-News, Gilbert Garcia. Gilbert, thank you for joining us, taking time out on what's going to be a busy night. Is the low turnout one of the stories that you're going to have in the paper tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that it is. And there have been a lot of stories in Texas. There was actually a big Washington Post story today about the problem with mail ballots because of SB1, which the legislature passed last year. It imposed some strict identification requirements on mail ballots. There was a story in there about a 75-year-old Houstonian who has poor eyesight and would have said he would have preferred to have voted by mail, but was nervous that it was not going to be accepted, so he went and voted in person. So I think that that's definitely a big part of the story. I mean, ultimately, I think our turnout numbers in Bexar County will probably be similar to what we had in 2018, the last midterm election, but our population has grown since then. So I think the numbers are disappointing for the elections department.
And you talk about mail-in ballots, just to dovetail off that, our Patty Santos was reporting that usually there's like 2-3% of the mail-in ballots that have been rejected. This year, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 30%. So it's definitely been an issue here locally.
And whether people took the opportunity to get out and vote or not, there are local races that are going to impact all of us, especially when it comes to Bexar County Judge. That's probably the biggest local race to watch. What are you going to be paying close attention to there tonight?
Well, I think on the Republican side, we know, I mean, unless there's a big surprise in store for us, I think we anticipate that Trish DeBerry, who gave up her county commissioner seat to run for county judge, will be the Republican nominee. So the interest tends to be on the Democratic side. You have three major candidates. You've got Ina Mijares, who's a state representative, Peter Sakai, who is a former district court judge, and Ivelisse Mesa Gonzalez, who's been a political activist on the Democratic side and was, until recently, the chief of staff for Mayor Ron Nirenberg. And it really is about as wide open a race as any I can remember. And it's obviously, it has huge consequences for the county. First time we've had an open seat for this office in more than 2 decades. And I think everyone's really unsure about how this is going to go.
Do you have a gut feeling? I think I joked before we were on camera here that you can talk to 3 different people and you have 3 different favorites in that race. I mean, it really seems as if it's wide open. I have heard a lot of people say, okay, it's going to a runoff. Judge Sakai will be in, but then the other 2 between Ina and Ivelisse, it seems to be neck and neck, at least, of people that are guessing what's going to happen.
I think that's right. And I think you've had a kind of interesting difference in strategy. I think that, for example, I think on in the Peter Sakai campaign, I think that they've really been proud of what they feel has been sort of like a retail political effort. I think the Ina Mijares campaign has probably stressed, getting mailers out and digital advertising maybe more than the other candidates. But it's really hard to predict. They all have strong resumes, and they all have. They've all sort of built connections in the community over a long period of time, and it'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
Let's zoom out a little bit to District 28 with the U.S. rep contest there. Henry Cuellar, obviously somebody who's held that position since 2005. Jessica Cisneros, it was a close race the last time these 2 faced off, and then you throw in a raid by the FBI. So I'm curious what you think is going to play out tonight, especially how much the news of that raid may impact Cuellar.
I think my sense, and it may have been a wrong one, but I think early on I tended to feel that Henry Cuellar may have been in a stronger position in this rematch. Sometimes we see candidates who do really well the first time around in challenging an incumbent, as Jessica Cisneros did 2 years ago. And in a rematch, you see the incumbent is maybe better prepared for the challenge. That was my gut feeling until fairly recently. And I think the FBI raid, even though we don't know a lot about, where this is going to lead, I still think that it's got to hurt the congressman quite a bit. And Jessica Cisneros, I also think that when you have a low turnout election, that in this case it could benefit her because her supporters are very passionate. She's a movement progressive. She's had Elizabeth Warren and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez coming for local rallies. So we know her supporters are going to turn out. And I think that in a small turnout election, it could be beneficial to her.
I want to talk quickly about the Republican race for Lyle Larson's seat. He's not going to run for re-election, isn't running for re-election. Who do you think are the two that come out of the runoff there? Almost assuredly we're going to a runoff there.
I think the candidate who kind of caught my attention the most is Adam Blanchard, who I was not that familiar with before this campaign. He's a trucking industry executive, a young candidate, very, I found him to be really articulate, and I was impressed with him. And I think that he's also, done well on the fundraising side. But I will say that, people on the campaign team of a former councilwoman, Elisa Chant, are very confident. And I think that, again, we're probably looking at a runoff there. And as with the county judge race, I think that this one is also going to be really, hard to predict.
All right, Gilbert Garcia with the Express-News, soon to be having his own show on KLRN with our friends over there. Talk a little bit about that before we let you go.
Thank you. It's going to be a monthly talk show called Texas Talk, with the idea that we want to have interesting people in politics, culture, business, sports, you name it. And it'll be a 30-minute show, one-on-one conversation, hopefully just a really relaxed, open conversation with interesting people.
Love it.
Texas Talk, KLRN. Lots to talk about here in Texas.
Yeah. Hopefully you still make time for us, though, too, Gilbert. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
And we'll be right back.